Hey, everybody, it's me, Jonathan Millard, the voice of the Vale, back with another Big Hype podcast, brought to you in association with our great sponsors, of course. Hype Energy Drinks, please drink those. Bravos Boxing Gloves, protect yourself at all times whilst wearing Bravos. And Combat Ticks, tickets, sales, resales for combat fights and boxing. But joining me right now in his home, from my home to your ears, is the one and only, the punk kid, Jack Hughes.
How you doing?
Mate, welcome to the podcast. This has been a long time coming. Again, this has been one where I wanted to get on right at the beginning, because I know you just you come back to the pro ranks. But we'll get to that in a moment, and we'll see about that one. Let's start off with the question we ask everyone, which is, how and why did you get involved in boxing?
So my story into boxing is probably a lot different to every one of the mill boxer, where they wanted to lose weight, they was getting bullied, so on, or they was just a troublesome kid fighting on the street. I actually hated boxing, never watched a boxing match in my life. I just thought it was a stupid sport full of stupid people. Turns out I'm one of them stupid people now. It all started when I was about 15 years old, and Ricky Hatton was getting ready to fight Floyd Mayweather. And back in the day, we had the MSN group chats, and I got invited into an MSN group chat with all my friends, and they was like, there was a Ricky Hatton today, he's fighting Floyd Mayweather. Jack, like, get your mum to order the fight, we'll all come round yours, and all this. And I was like, guys, I don't even like boxing. And it was like, Jack, man, come on, like, you're our only hope. Like, if you don't do this, no one else is going to do it. So I was like, go on then, I'll ask my mum, like, you know, all my mates will be round, I don't need to watch it, so on and so forth. And then, mate, I couldn't tell you what happened, but the second Ricky Hatton's ring walk hit, boom, I was glued onto it and absolutely fell in love with boxing from that fight. And I didn't even know really who Ricky Hatton was. And when he lost, I was absolutely devastated, mate. I couldn't get over it. And and then fast forward to my 16th birthday, I walked into Rice-Lippen District Boxing Club, and the rest is history.
So when did you so that was 16, did you say?
Yeah, so we watched it at 15, and then on my 16th birthday, it was the first day of my in the gym.
So in comparison with some of the others, that's technically a late start, I suppose, for yourself.
Pretty late, yeah.
And what happened then? So
I think from there, it was about 4 months in, I think, and I was getting ready for my first fight, and it was on the Rice-Lip home show. I won that, and I put the kid on, I think, 2 standing counts, and I didn't even know the rules back then, but apparently 3 standing counts, so the fight's over as an amateur. So if I would have hit him with one more good shot, it would have been over. But I put him on 2 standing counts. A lot of people come up to me afterwards and said in 25 years that's the best debut I've ever seen. So I got a lot of good positive reviews from it. I went on to have another 2 fights with Rice-Lip. I fought Mo Garib. He's quite a well-known fighter. He won the London ABAs. I fought him twice and I beat him twice. Then I stopped boxing for a little bit. I had when I was younger, I had really bad anxiety, and it stopped me. It caused me to stop boxing. But then at 23, I think, I was like, you know what? I need to get over my fears and that and get back into it. So I walked. I actually missed. I boxed for hooks as well under Steve Newland. I missed that part out, but it's not really that important. I lost both my fights then, so we don't want to hear about that. About 23, I got back into it. I went back to the home club, Rice-Lippen District, where it all started. And I had 7 fights in a year or something like that, which was quite a lot for me, considering in my first year I had 3 and in my second year I had 2. So that was quite a lot for me. And I boxed a couple good kids, and I won the North West London under 7 fights championships. I won that. It's not nothing really prestigious, but it meant a lot to me at the time. And I had one more year as an amateur, and at 24 I turned pro.
So going back to it, how did you find boxing then help with your anxiety? How did that help? How did it help you?
I think it helped me a lot, especially because I had it for a long time, like
Mm,
probably around 18 to about, 23, 24. And he- when I turned pro, that's when it helped the
yeah,
most because I was traveling to different gyms on my own. I was
mm,
meeting new people. I was getting out of the house all the time. I was eating different foods because I had to with training and to lose weight. And it helped. It changed me
yeah,
completely as changed my life, changed me as a person, helped me grow up, helped me mature. So yeah, I mean, it changed my life really.
yeah. So the structure of it meant that you knew what you were doing, but like you say, you're going into new places, new adventures, new
Mm,
foods, new different people that you were meeting all the time,
yeah.
and it was just. Was there something that just sort of clicked in, sort of, and you went, "Oh, yeah, I can do this. This is where this is where I belong."
Yeah, it was literally just I think the start of it was I obviously fell in love at
Mm,
like at 22 or 23, like met a girl and I was like, oh,
mm,
can't keep living this boring life as just stuck in the house and not doing anything anymore. So I was just like, yeah, I need to get out, I need to get myself fit, I need to start boxing again. So at the time it weren't even like, oh, let's box and turn pro kind of thing. It was just box, get fit, sort my life out really.
yeah,
And then after I, started making all the changes,
yeah.
one of my friends, like Luke Robinson, he was a pro. I think in the end he only had about 4 fights, but he got in contact with me, watched my fight when I won the Northwest Londons,
Mm,
and he was just like, "Oh, mate, like, I didn't know you were still boxing. Great to see you back on the scene. I'm actually having my first professional fight in that." And I was like, "Oh, mate, I'd absolutely love to come to that." And then that's how I got my first taste of professional boxing. And then
yeah.
I found out that anyone can be a pro. You don't even need to have any amateur experience. And I was like, oh, okay. I was like, this sounds interesting. I was like, let's have a go at this.
So a decade on, since the pro debut, yeah. But the
Mhm.
pro things, it swings and it changes it all the time. And sometimes
It
they like
does.
to have an amateur background. Some of them, you know, ones or
Mm,
twos that I've had on the podcast as well that have come a more sort of alternative route, i.e., through
mm,
the white collar sort of scene, or maybe even the unlicensed sort of scene as well, or from a different discipline completely, from like kickboxing or
yeah.
MMA, and they've transitioned into boxing. Um, did you have any inkling to go down any of those other routes during that time, or was it always boxing?
It was pretty much always boxing. Just before kind of COVID time, I did want to get into like the MMA, like wrestling and that. Kind of like what you see in the UFC, like the
Yeah, yeah.
cage fighting thing.
Not
And I
WWE then,
trained.
no.
Yeah, no, I trained at that, and I actually loved it. I thought it was great, but at the time I was kind of done with kind of fighting as a whole.
Yeah.
I just didn't have the buzz for it anymore, so I stopped
Mhm.
going. But then you know what boxing's like. You get the buzz for it again, and you want to go, you want to come back
It's
again.
in the blood, mate. It
It
doesn't go.
is.
You can't get rid of it. That's the point.
Yeah,
Once it's in you, and once you've got it, it sticks with you.
that's it.
Yeah, yeah. So turning pro, as you say, we turned pro in 2016.
Hmm.
Not the first, not the ideal start with
Yeah.
an L on the record.
Hmm.
Sergey Tasimovo.
Yep, that's the guy.
Tasimovo. Uh, how did they go? What went wrong?
Big Hype Podcast, sponsored by Hype Energy Drinks.
I think I was very, very unexperienced. I only
Mm,
had 10 amateur fights. And I rushed into everything. Like I rushed really as an amateur. 4 months is quite a quick time to have your first thing. And then
yeah.
even as a pro, like I think signed a contract. I was fighting 3 to 4 months later again. So didn't really have a lot of time to adjust to the scenes and so on.
Mm,
Even though my pro fight, I think it was still pretty close. I genuinely believe I won it. But sometimes sometimes refs just don't like you. Sometimes it's just the way it goes. Don't get me wrong. I don't really have a problem with the guy winning. It was close, as I said, but
Yeah.
I do think I won it. But the guy gave him, I think, every round, which is mind blowing to me. I've shown that fight to a lot of people, and no one's ever said the guy won every round. Like, so
Yeah.
some people said I lost, some people said it was a draw, some people say I won. So it was that kind of close, but yeah, sometimes
I'm not going to
things
get
just
into the scoring of a referee.
yeah. Sometimes things just don't work out.
Yeah,
And if anything, it shaped me into the person I am, and it made me become an even better boxer.
So it's never a loss in this game. It's always a learn.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the L means.
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
You learn from it, and you obviously have progressed, as you said. Because the next one you came out, you came out again in York Hall, a couple of months after that first one against Georgie, and that one, took almost every round. There wasn't anything left on it. I've watched it back as well. That one I could find, the other one I couldn't. Maybe I wasn't looking in the right place. But, again, took it almost every round. You look like a different boxer. You looked like you were right on par. Did you feel... Well, I suppose what I was trying to sort of ask is between shifting between amateur to pro, is there a big gap? Is there a big difference in the styles?
Yeah, I would say quite a lot. Amateurs a lot more fast paced, obviously less rounds and less like an extra minute off. You watch the females box for 2 minutes and watch the men box for 3. It's a big difference. So you do really have to learn to pace yourself. Like, it's a lot slower. It's not as bouncy like amateurs. When you watch them, they're all very bouncy, boom, 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 like throwing combinations, bah, 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 bah. Like, that's what it's like. And in pros, it's not like that. It's kind of like plant your feet, pick your shots, tap, like, feint in, bait in. There's a lot more to the pro game, and obviously the gloves as well. I think as an amateur you box in 12, as a pro you fight in 8. So that's a big difference. And there's not much padding in them pro gloves either.
It's a big. It is a culture shock. I've been hit by both. Not that I wanted to be. Apparently, I just got. It's like, you're gonna have to learn, John. I was like, okay, whatever. I've been punched with both types of gloves. It certainly does seem like this. I think my camera's just gone again, isn't it?
Sorry, mate, I lost you then. I've got you back now.
The camera's gone, but I'm still here, so we'll just carry on. The camera will come back. I'm having real problems with my camera at the moment anyway. So going forward then, obviously from there, we started on a little run of wins throughout the sort of late 10s into 2018. How did you find that sort of run? Is there anyone that jumps out from sort of those names that jumped out before you got to that southern area opportunity?
I loved. This was the kind of time when I was just absolutely in love with boxing, and like nothing else mattered, and I was just naive to all the backstabbing and all the like the evil people, should I say, in the sport. I just loved it. I was just in love with boxing. I just loved being in the gym. I loved training. I loved fighting. I loved, dieting, everything. So I was just like a little boy in Dreamsville back then. And I fought some I think pretty decent journeymen. Sergei was an experienced guy, had been around the world. Georgiev had knocked out a couple English prospects. I think he knocked out like at least 3 like English prospects, and he actually did hit pretty hard from what I can remember as well. Then I had like people like Gary Reeve, who I fought, and funny enough, he had knocked someone out just before I fought him as well. He knocked out that Reese Taylor, who was like the smallest boxer in Britain, and he had like a lot of hype around him. And then I like to think I fought a good couple journeymen. Obviously, I avenged my loss with Sergei as well.
Yeah, I see that on the record.
Yeah, so I've always been that kind of had that attitude: fight anyone, anytime, anywhere, even if it means kind of like losing it all. It was a big risk. I was, I think, 1-1 at the time when I fought him. I'd already lost to him the fight previous, and like got offered to me. I was like 100% take that like tomorrow. So. Yeah, I've always been one for taking risks and leaving it all on the line. And and then I fought Georgie yet again. I was actually meant to fight Reese Taylor, and he was like 2-1 at the time, and I was meant to fight him for the challenge belt.
Okay.
And he ended up, I don't know why, but ended up pulling out of the fight.
Yeah.
So then I fought Georgie yet again over 8. That was like one of my proudest moments in boxing. Obviously, first professional title, even though it's not kind of really looked at as a legit title because it's not on BoxRec, and I don't even think there's like a proper sanctioning board for it. But you still had to sell the tickets, and it still meant something to me. So I'm proud of it.
I think it probably, like you say, as long as it means something to you, that means sanctioned bodies and whatever else assign. I mean, there's lots of those out there. There's lots of different belts. There's lots of different people out there that want different levels, silvers, Europeans, Commonwealths, all that. There's loads of different, and there seems to be a new belt every week. But again, what's more important is what how it means to you, and that's the most important thing. Yeah. So first 10 rounder again, Ricky Little. That was for the southern area Superfly.
Yeah,
didn't go quite your way in that one. Very close fight. How did it go for you? What do you feel? How do you feel it went?
It was good. Like I think I put on a good performance. I feel Ricky put on a better performance. Obviously, that's why he won. Again, like he was even though I think he only had 5 or 6 fights at the time, he had done a lot. Like he had fought on a couple Sky Bills. He had been in with a world-class fighter in Charlie Edwards. These things just bring experience, where I was still just fighting the journeyman over 4 and 6, 8 rounds. And to be honest, at the time, I wasn't really looked after. I had a trainer that weren't really about. Like I was sorting out all my own sparring. I was, it just weren't great, realistically. But I still, I wasn't really fit for the fight. I think after about 4, 6 rounds, I didn't really have much left, but still finished the fight. And like fair play to Ricky, he won it. But we put on an amazing performance. Like people still talk to me about that fight to this day, and there's always people talking about it. Like Mo Pryor speaks to me about it all the time still, and so like it lives in people's minds and hearts. So that's a win for me at the end of the day. I brought people a lot of joy out of it.
I think if you can bring, I mean, we were talking about this with Hugh the other week, and ultimately it is a gladiatorial sport. They'll be able to be entertained, and obviously, you brought the fight that night, and you brought the entertainment as well with it as well.
Yeah, no, 100%, mate. That's just me. In general, I'm never in a boring fight. Most people see the punk kid, shall we say, on a card, and everyone's like, "Oh, that's a good fight." Like Jack Hughes is on the card. That's going to be a good card. He's always in entertaining fights, and it's just I'm just come to be known as that now, like the entertaining little flyweight.
I mean, that's if you can be something and be something and you're happy with being where you are, and I've got you got no thing, but we'll come to it now. Or let's say, I mean, there is an interview which I caught up with back earlier this year. You still believe we can go all the way, and I still believe you can go all the way.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it.
So I think there's more out there than what recently has happened, obviously within the ring. But I mean, before we get to the last couple of the last years anyway, you had quite a good run of wins again, and a draw in the middle of mixing that again, and picked up the belt as well.
Yeah. So after Ricky Little, I think I moved trainers quite a lot after that, because as I said, I didn't really feel like I was getting looked after. So I've had a lot of trainers, to be fair, probably one of the most in the small hall scene, but they've all served their purpose. I've learned from all of them. I've made loads of good friends along the way as well, so I can't complain. But yeah, I strung a couple good wins, and then I'm back into the mix for the southern area again, and we got Paul Roberts. And mate, you look at Paul Roberts' record, especially back then. You would look at that fight and think, oh, easy fight. And then, I found out it was far from easy in the first one. And then, we got the draw. Both of us think we won on the night. Again, it was one of them. You know, it could have gone either way, and I think realistically, a draw was the fair result. And then I beat him the second time around. I think I won it pretty convincingly, but the scorecards were pretty close. But at the end of the day, I don't really care what the scorecard said. I won the fight, and that's all that matters to me. And again, you know, the entertaining Jack Hughes, as always. We put on a Fight of the Year performance. I ended up winning Fight of the Year that year in 2022, me and Paul. And then, you know, as I was saying about Paul's records, and you look and see what he's done since then. He's won the Southern Area twice. He fought for the English. He's won the Commonwealth Silver at a different weight. So he's a free weight champion, Southern Area fly and super fly, and then Commonwealth Silver at light fly. He then went on to box for a WBF and a legit Commonwealth title in a fight I truly believe he won, but didn't get the decision. It was obviously
that was the Derbyshire fight, wasn't it?
Yeah. Derbyshire fight. Obviously, it was in Derbyshire's hometown as well. So he didn't win that. And now he's obviously lined up for a Commonwealth and British title shot against my gym mate, Harvey Horn. So, mate, honestly, what a career and what a fighter that Paul Roberts is.
It's going to be a very interesting. That's going to be an interesting fight anyway. Nonetheless, I think again he's a tough cookie, like I said, and his win-loss record is pretty much equal, to wins to losses. So it again just proves the point that it's not always about having the go. It's not always having about the perfect record. It's about being, the determination and the grit and the dexterity in your character to continue boxing and take it on to the next level as well. So I mean, so we've had a couple of little breaks though. Then we had a little break again. After the fight in Swindon, Lewis Roberts. So a bit of a break for around about a year, just over, which then saw you return to the ring against Jack Williams. What was going on there?
So when I took the break again, it's just me. I don't think people actually really understand how stressful boxing can really be, unless you're truly involved in it as a fighter. It's just there's a lot of BS with with promoters, with fights getting made, falling through, running around selling tickets, making weight, working full time around it. Like, I don't really think, as I said, unless you're involved, you'll never really understand how stressful it can be.
No.
And especially when you put your heart and soul into training camps and you go out and deliver a performance of a lifetime, win the fight in everyone's eyes, except two judges, because it's the kid's hometown. And you just sit there and think, like, what am I wasting my time for? Like, I've got a family at home. I've got a beautiful wife. I've got a career. Like, why am I wasting my time doing this? And that's kind of just what it came down to with the Lewis Roberts fight. And at that time as well, I was getting messed around a lot. I was getting a lot of fights getting made, and they were just falling through. Fight getting made, falling through, and it was just like, this ain't even worth it anymore. But as we said, you spent some time away, and it's like, I need to go back. So that's what
drags you back in.
Yeah, and so on my time coming back with the Jack Williams fight, it was, to be honest with you, like, I'm just putting it down to just extreme poor management. I'm not with my promoter anymore. That managed me for my last 3 fights essentially, with the Lewis, the Jack, and the last one I had in Chelsea. I just feel like, again, I've experienced a lot in boxing. I've been a pro for nearly 10 years. I've experienced the good, the bad, and the ugly. And I think in the last year, it was pretty much all ugly. Like, I feel like my career was managed so poorly. I feel like I wasn't looked after at all. I feel like I was getting phone calls all the time to just take stupid fights. And I was like, it was almost like he was trying to convince me to take stupid fights. Like, I don't even understand the managerial side of it from his perspective, like what he really wanted out of me. So obviously the Jack Williams fight got thrown to me, and don't get me wrong, I had to take some credit for this as well, because I still took the fight. But I believed I could win it. Still believe I could win it. But I mean, it's not a fight I really want to run back, to be honest with you. But yeah, and
take it out like that one out.
yeah. So the fight was this is what I mean about poor management. The fight officially, it's down in Ipswich. Obviously, I'm in London, so took it as an away fight. Didn't even get booked accommodation for it. So that's the first thing that really peed me off, pretty much.
Okay.
How are you getting a fight from London and Ipswich and not booking any accommodation, especially like day before weigh-in? Doesn't make any sense. And then I was told the fight was made at Bantam. So the day before the weigh-in, I get a phone call. The fight's made at Super Bantam. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm literally on the way to the gym to like sweat out the last little bit to make Bantam weight. He's like, no, the fight's Super Bantam. So I was like, me being me, and it is such a stupid mentality, but I just love fighting. So to me, I was just like, well, whatever, I'm still fighting. Like, even though I never should have took that fight, that's 2-3 weights above what I normally fight at, especially after being told it was at Bantam. So then hung up the phone, and I'm like, do you know what? No, I was like, I'm still fighting anyway, but I was like, I need to get some kind of commission for that, because I've been told this whole time it's at Bantam. So why am I now fighting at Super Bantam and not getting any money for it, like last minute kind of thing?
Yeah.
So again, poor management, call him up. We need to obviously ask them for some money for this. Just comes up with the most waste of time excuse as to why he can't call him, because he's his friend and whatnot. And it's just like, mate, this is professional boxing. I don't care if he's your friend. Like, I deserve compensation for that, pretty much. Like, didn't get anything. And lo and behold, the first time ever, amateur and pro, I get put down and I get stopped. So it was just shocking, like all around. And it was shocking that he even really offered me the fight in the first place. Shocking that I didn't get any accommodation. Shocking for the kind of time of year it was, and shocking that he moved the fight up without even really telling me. I didn't get any compensation, anything. But it just is what it is. And I always like to give people the benefit of the doubt. I always like to think, we're all human. We all make mistakes. But there's that saying, fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. And it kind of became shame on me in the end, because obviously now we move forward to the Chelsea fight. So
I was going to say, it's the transatlantic where you faced off against the American.
So
Jose Jesus Morales.
Yeah. So we move on to that one now, and after obviously I got beat and kind of stopped, and first time ever, I was like, called my promoter up and I was like, listen, I'm never ever fighting above super flyweight again. I was like, realistically, I can make flyweight. So super bantam was a terrible move, and I'm never doing it again. I was like, I don't mind bantam sometimes, but even bantam, they're still way bigger than me. So I was like, super fly or nothing, pretty much. And I was like, so make sure that this fight is at super flyweight. He's like, okay, cool. So fast forward now, like 6 weeks into training camp, I'm on BoxRec. I see the fight's made at Bantam. I'm like, what is going on? Like, called up my promoter. I was like, this fight is made at Superfly, right? And he was like, yeah, 100%. Mate, the fight is at Superfly. He's like, don't worry what BoxRec says. The fight's at Superfly. I've made sure of it. I'm like, okay, sweet. I just needed to confirm this because, I'm obviously making Superfly and I don't want to fight at bantamweight.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, no, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So on the day of the weigh-in, I've obviously weighed in at Superfly, made it comfortably 51.6 and the limit's 52.1.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that he's weighed in at Bantam. I can't remember exactly what weight it was, but he was at Bantam. Yeah. So I was like, oh my days, he's overweight. I was like, I'm gonna go speak to the board of control and see if I can get a bit of money out of this. So like gone over to the board member and I've like, oh mate, could I just find out what my weight was first? Because I like to put it on my socials and that. So as I've looked at my weight, I've seen the contest is officially at bantamweight. Mate, I was raging. When I tell you I could have smashed up the whole gym, like I could have smashed the whole gym up because I've been lied to again. And I don't even know what he got out of it. Like, what did he get out of making this fight at Bantam when I'm his fighter and I'm the home fighter and they're flying in Americans and they want to win? I could not tell you the logic behind that at all. So obviously got into that fight. Again, it was very close. I have no problem with the decision. I actually feel like he did win the fight, but a lot of people thought I won it. But again, vice versa, a lot of people also thought he won it. So I have no problem with the decision. But what I have a problem with was obviously the whole weight thing and the poor management again. And also on the night, the referee was shocking. People still, to this day, and this fight happened like 6 months ago, still talk to me about how bad the ref was. And what blows my mind again is I was the home fighter. So why was the ref against me? And again, it was a super close fight. Could have gone either way by a round. And as I said, humbly, I even still think that he won the fight. So don't care that I lost the fight. I don't have any quarrels with that. But as I said, it one round, didn't it, either way. And she gave him every round, like -1. So mind blown. Like the ref had a problem with me from the beginning. And I've kind of obviously, out of anger, I've lashed out a little bit about that. But again, it's just it is what it is. We move forward.
We move forward. Yeah, as I say, I'm not going to get into the scorecards. I mean, they at the end of the day, I've been on the referee side of it. I've been on the judge's side of it. It's not an easy situation to find. I mean, you kind of go with kind of what you see and what you do, and I'm not. Anyway, leave that park it there. So that brings us pretty much up to date. Realistically, with a career, we've, like you say, a decade in the pros. You started off at 16. Now you 32, 31?
33 now.
33. There you go. What's next around the corner for Jack?
So I feel like I've got a real exciting path planned out now. I can't really go into too much detail because obviously nothing's all confirmed yet. But I can give you little inklings of to what's happening. So I no longer have a British license anymore. I'm done with fighting in Britain and fighting under the British border control for many reasons. But I just feel like as a pro, I've pretty much been there, done it all. Like I've had the 4-rounders, the 6, the 8s, the 10s. I've had the title fights. I've won titles. I've won awards, and I've kind of fought around, like all around the UK. I've fought in Swindon. I've fought in London. I've fought in York Hall. I've fought in Chelsea's football stadium. I've fought in Ipswich. I've been around. So as fighting in the UK as a professional anymore, I don't really feel like I want to do anything more. Like I could win. Obviously, I could win titles like English and British, which is amazing. But I just don't really have that kind of desire to do it. I want to travel the world now with boxing, with doing something I love, and obviously getting a foreign license kind of gives me that chance. Like obviously, my friend, you might know him, Conor Adaway, he's doing the same thing. His last, I think, 5 fights, he's fought in different countries. He's fought in Thailand, he's fought in France, he's fought in America. I think he might have even. Oh, and he's also fought in the Netherlands. Yeah. So and this is what I want. And he's getting wins. He's getting title fights and just getting amazing opportunities and life experiences. Yeah. And so that's what I want. And I still believe I'm good enough to win titles, but they're just not going to be area English, British anymore. They're going to be maybe UBOs or WBCs or A's or whatever I can get sanctioned for. Yeah. And I've had some incredible opportunities thrown my way, but when I tell you the last 2 months have been the most stressful of my life, they've been the most stressful of my life. You
need a good management team. That's what you need.
Yeah. I feel like I've got that now, I've got a good manager looking after me. But without going into too much detail, because I don't really want to release this story yet until I get a fight announced, which should be happening hopefully any day. But I got offered to fight. Like I blew up really bad in weight after the last fight. I was just like in a crap place with boxing. I was just as I said, just the most stressful thing in the world, boxing. So I went up way above my fight weight, and I got offered to fight on the Jake Paul undercard for a lot of money, but I couldn't make the weight. I got offered to fight on the Manny Pacquiao undercard, one, the money was terrible, and two, it weren't even at my weight class. And I was just getting offered fights in America, like all over America, like great opportunity. So got to a point where I was like, right, I need to buckle down now and do this. And I had 2 fights lined up, one this Saturday and one in September. And talk about stress in boxing. I wasn't losing any weight. And this is really weird, but I was drinking like 3 to 4 liters a day, bit too much information, but I wasn't pissing. Like, and I was like, how am I drinking so much water and not going to the toilet? Like, and lo and behold, I was actually, it was crazy as this sounds, because I was drinking 3 to 4 liters a day. I was dehydrated, and I had a problem with my kidneys. So I had to pull out of the fight in August. Obviously, it's just one of them things. And then I had a fight lined up in September. Yeah. And lo and behold, the guy got injured. So that fight was off. And I was like, wow, man. I was like, well, how's your luck sometimes? And then, as I said, I don't really want to release too much yet, but without going into a lot of detail, I had a lot of crazy stuff, boxing related, just happen. Like, I had like opportunities fall through, people were like disappearing on me. I had to deal with a lot of idiots like offering me stuff and not listening to what I was saying. And it got to the point where I was so stressed with everything. And I was kind of just like in my room, like, I don't even know what to do now. Like, I don't know where to go, who to turn to. Like, I was like, I feel like my career might be over, and I don't even want it to be over. And then trying to think of, so much stuff has happened. I'm trying to think of where we left it all. And then, so yeah, I was like, do you know what? I need to get back in contact with some people.
Yeah.
I got back in contact with not the promoter I was just talking about, but Mo Pryor. And he's just obviously been like a delight to deal with, like Mo always is. I actually really trust Mo a lot, and he's been a big help to me throughout my whole career, to be honest with you. And so he's getting some things laid down for me, and even more good news has happened today. And I was just like, oh mate, it's crazy how things can just turn around in seconds, pretty much.
It's great to see a smile on your face as well. So
thanks, mate.
Yeah, thanks. Mate. I do you know what? This as I said to you, the story's not over yet. And you remind me. I did sort of suggest that perhaps you're going on the journeyman route, but it's not. It's not that. It's not just taking the fights just because. There's more to it, and you're not the first boxer to do this. There's quite a lot of boxers that have gone away, played the away boxer, but come away with straps and championships, 100%. And also, like you said, great opportunities to travel the world, see what else is out there. It doesn't always have to be the York Hall. It doesn't have to be, the UK for big fights. We see that anyway with the Riyadh season and other things as well. We can, the world is getting smaller and smaller with the internet and access to streaming platforms and so on as well,
Definitely.
like DAZN and, bringing boxing to the masses that way as well. So it sounds like things are coming up roses after
finally
in the garden for Jack Hughes. It started to come that the roses have started to show their flowers, and it's starting to bloom into something that you're quite happy with and seem to be quite happy. And Mo's great because I've known Mo for a few years now.
Yes.
He's always been fair with me, and I've always been always loved having conversations with him as well. So it's in fact he rang me the other day while I was on my way to another show. So it's just little things like that. And he just loves to touch base, and he's such a great guy. But it does sound like there's going to be a lot more to come from Jack Hughes than in this capacity. Logan Paul's wow, Pacquiao fights wow. I got offered something the other day with a legend, Shane Mosley, to introduce that. Great show, great opportunity. Lucas Brown was on that as well. Nice. Those shows are still, and those shows come and they bring people in. Bring new ice on the thing. There was quite a lot of on the undercard of that again. Don't know the whole situation with all of that, but I'm not a promoter, so I wouldn't know. But it still seems like there's good things going forward. If it was all to end, or if it all was to come sort of to stop, would you be happy?
Oh yeah, 100%. I'm in one of them weird places where I don't really need boxing anymore. Like I kind of overachieved, I would say. Like I was achieved way more than I ever thought I could, and even I thought was actually possible. I didn't even know about half the stuff like Southern Areas and Fight of the Year awards when I turned over. Like, so yeah, I feel like I've done a lot of great things. Like, obviously, I've won 2 titles. I've headlined multiple venues. I've won award, from the British Border Patrol. I feel like I'm the. This might sound big-headed, but I feel like I'm the most, at least in London, one of the most recognised fighters in small hall boxing. Everywhere I go, people know who I am.
Well, you have a unique style, Jack. So,
yeah, I do, mate. I do.
As a character within boxing, everyone knows you. You're kind of like I don't want to disrespect anyone, but your character comes across, and it's a bit larger than life. It's a bit like a pro wrestler kind of persona that you bring. And you're always happy to talk. I mean, it's always great when I see you walk in the room.
Thanks.
You light in the room. You bring light into the room as well. And for me,
Thanks,
I can see that, and it's good to have a chat with you. Although we don't really, not really known each other really that long, but we've been in the same circles, and we just get on. And you bring bring out that party to the room, if you like. Don't know what else to say, but it's awesome, mate. Anyway, we have a little bit of a closing tradition on the podcast. Rapid fire, either or. It's no preference. It's whatever you like, whichever you want to buy it.
Cool.
So, Jack, Punk Kid Hughes, are you ready?
Yes, sir.
Round 1. Southpaw or orthodox?
Orthodox.
Body shots or head shots?
Body shots.
Train alone or with a partner?
Sorry, what was that one?
Train alone or with a partner?
I like the aura of the gym when everyone's around, so I'll say train with a partner.
Okay. Are you an early bird or a night owl?
Oh, night owl.
Heavy bag, speed bag?
Heavy bag.
Underdog or favourite?
Underdog.
In the gym or outdoors?
Ooh, that depends on my mood. I'll say in the gym because I love my gym at the moment.
Good. Short, powerful punches or the long, technical game?
Short, powerful punches.
Fight dirty, fight clean.
Do you know what? So I know this isn't like a quick fire one, but there's a running joke about me and headbutts because I busted Lewis Roberts' lip up. So, and I actually do really appreciate the dirty tactics in boxing as well. And even though I consider myself a clean fighter, but a lot of people don't. So I'll go with dirty.
Oh, bless you. Fight crowds, loud crowds, or quiet atmosphere?
Loud crowds.
Okay. Quick knockouts or strategic wins?
Quick knockouts.
Not paid for overtime, yeah? Hypothetical question: if this fight was ever to happen in the UK or in anywhere, to be honest with you, I'd really just love to see it. AJ or Fury?
Fury.
Thank you very much, Jack Hughes. How do people get involved? How do they follow you? How do they know more about your journey?
Sorry, mate. There's a lot.
That's all right. It's the dogs. Cool. Let them go off.
But, just
bring them onto camera. Let's have a look.
Just through my socials, mate. So Instagram, I'm probably the most active on, which is Jack_the_Punk_Kid_Hughes. Facebook, Jack Punk Hughes, and I don't really use Twitter, but it's Jack_Punk Kid. So yeah, they're my main ones, and obviously my box rec is Jack the Punk Kid Hughes. If you look me up on there, it's got all my links and all that on there as well. So yeah, any way you want to keep up to date, they're the best ways.
I've got to say, as a box rec, yours is probably the most filled in that I've ever seen.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because normally people are just like, yeah, it's there, but they don't put anything in there. I mean, yours is probably, like I said, the most detailed one that I've seen for a while there. So props to you for that one, mate.
Thanks, mate.
Mate, I like to say, I think you're going to enjoy what you're doing. I think you've found something, a niche now, a new path to carry on, and I'm looking forward to seeing where it takes you, and looking forward to following your story, mate. And I hope to God one day I actually get to announce you, because in this moment in time, I still haven't announced you.
Yeah. As long as you can get an announcing job abroad, I'm sure it will happen, mate.
Just mention my name, like Joe Henry. Say my name and I'll appear.
Yeah.
That would be that would be awesome. I would love to do a broad stuff. I've already said that enough times on this podcast. Perhaps one day it'll happen.
One day, mate. God willing.
But we'll take each day as it comes, mate. Like you say, you never know what opportunities are coming around the corner. You never know what's the future holds, and it certainly looks like it's going to hold some interesting stories for you to tell. And hopefully we'll have you back in the podcast to talk about those maybe next year, see how we are, have a little catch up and see what's going on. But Jack, thank you so much for coming on the Big Hype podcast. We look forward to seeing you again. Take care. Hey everybody, thank you so much for listening to the Big Hype podcast. We hope you've enjoyed this episode, and really I just want to ask you personally, if you could just send this on to a friend. Send it in their text, to their socials, to WhatsApp, whatever. However you get it to them, just get it to them. I'm sure they'll appreciate it, and I certainly will appreciate it. So thanks again for listening to the Big Hype podcast, and thank you again for sending and sharing.
This has been a Big Hype production, edited and produced by Jonathan Millard, assisted by Riverside FM and distributed by Buzzsprout, available on all good podcast platforms. For more information, visit www.bighypepodcast.co.uk.